Point 1. The Awakening. Glennon Doyle, our central character, is a woman who has spent her life meticulously crafting an existence that adheres to the societal norms and expectations. She has built a life that, to the casual observer, seems to be the epitome of perfection. She is a devoted wife, a loving mother to 3 beautiful children, and a successful author. Yet, beneath this veneer of perfection, Glennon is wrestling with a deep-seated sense of dissatisfaction and a yearning for something more authentic and meaningful. Despite her many achievements, Glennon feels ensnared in a life that doesn't truly mirror her inner self. She is perpetually striving to meet the expectations of others, often sacrificing her own happiness and fulfillment in the process. She is living a life that is dictated by societal norms and expectations, rather than one that aligns with her own desires and aspirations. Her marriage, while outwardly idyllic, is not nourishing her soul in the way she had envisioned. She cherishes her children deeply, but the role of motherhood alone does not quench her thirst for a more profound existence. Her career as an author, while successful, does not imbue her with the sense of purpose and fulfillment she yearns for. Glennon stands at a crossroads, longing for a life that is more authentic and true to her inner self. She is beginning to question the societal norms and expectations that have sculpted her life thus far, and is starting to realize that she desires more than just to fit into a preordained mold. She is awakening to the realization that she possesses the power to redefine her own life, and that she doesn't have to conform to societal expectations to find happiness and fulfillment. This is the story of Glennon's journey towards self-discovery and authenticity, a journey that will challenge her to break free from the constraints of societal norms and expectations, and to forge her own path towards a life that is true to who she is. Point 2. The Unraveling. Once upon a time, in a world of societal norms and expectations, lived a woman named Doyle. Her life was a portrait of conventional success, a loving husband, 3 beautiful children, and a home filled with laughter and love. Yet, beneath the surface of this seemingly perfect life, Doyle was restless, a feeling she couldn't quite put her finger on. One day, at a conference, she crossed paths with Abby, a woman whose charisma was as captivating as her mystery. Abby was like a breath of fresh air, a spark that ignited a flame within Doyle, a flame that she had never felt before, not even with her husband. This unexpected encounter stirred something deep within Doyle, a connection so profound that it shook her to her core. As Doyle found herself drawn towards Abby, she embarked on a journey of intense self-reflection and emotional upheaval. She was caught in a whirlwind of emotions, torn between her burgeoning feelings for Abby and the life she had painstakingly built with her husband and children. The more she tried to stifle her feelings for Abby, the stronger they grew, leading her to question everything she thought she knew about herself and her life. Doyle's struggle was not merely about her feelings for Abby. It was a struggle of identity, a struggle against the societal expectations she had been conditioned to meet. She wrestled with the implications of her feelings for Abby on her marriage, her family, and her place in society. She was faced with the daunting task of reconciling her newfound emotions with her existing commitments and responsibilities. Navigating this complex emotional terrain, Doyle was forced to confront her deepest fears and insecurities. She was at a crossroads, faced with a choice between living a life that others expected of her or embracing her true self, regardless of the consequences. This period of her life was marked by confusion, fear, and uncertainty, but also by courage, honesty, and a deep yearning for authenticity. In the end, Doyle's journey was not just about her relationship with Abby. It was a journey of self-discovery and self-acceptance. It was about her struggle to break free from societal norms and expectations, and her quest to live a life that was true to who she was. It was about her untamed spirit, her desire to stop pleasing and start living. Point 3. The Breakdown. In the quiet town of Willow Creek, where tradition and conformity were the unspoken laws, lived a woman named Doyle. She was a mother of 3, a wife of many years, and a woman who had spent her life living within the lines drawn by society. Her marriage, while not unhappy, was a mere reflection of what she had always been told love should look like. It was a comfortable routine, a familiar dance, but it lacked the passion and authenticity that Doyle craved deep within her soul. One day, at a book event in the heart of the city, Doyle's life took an unexpected turn. She met Abby, a professional soccer player with a spirit as untamed as the wind. Abby was a woman who lived her truth unapologetically and fearlessly. Doyle was drawn to her like a moth to a flame, captivated by her authenticity and strength. As they spent more time together, Doyle realized that the feelings she had for Abby were more than just admiration. She was in love. The realization was as terrifying as it was liberating. Doyle knew the conservative fabric of Willow Creek would not take kindly to her newfound love. She would be judged, ostracized, and possibly even shunned. Yet, the thought of suppressing her feelings, of denying her truth, was far more daunting. Despite the storm of fear and uncertainty brewing within her, Doyle chose to follow her heart. She decided to pursue a relationship with Abby, to embrace the love that had unexpectedly bloomed within her. The backlash was swift and harsh. Friends turned their backs, family members voiced their disapproval, and even her children struggled to understand her decision. Doyle found herself in a whirlwind of judgment and criticism, her once peaceful life now a battlefield. The isolation was suffocating, the self-doubt crippling. There were moments when Doyle questioned her decision, moments when the weight of the world seemed too heavy to bear. But in those moments, she would remember Abby's strength, her authenticity, and the love they shared. It was a love that was real, a love that was worth fighting for. And so, Doyle chose to fight. She chose to stand up against the judgment, the criticism, and the ostracism. She chose to live her truth, to embrace her love for Abby, and to show the world that she was more than just a mother, a wife, or a woman from Willow Creek. She was Doyle, a woman in love, a woman untamed. Despite the challenges, Doyle remained hopeful. She knew that the road ahead was fraught with difficulties, but she also knew that she had the strength to overcome them. She had Abby by her side, love in her heart, and a newfound determination to live her life authentically. And that was all she needed. Point 4. The rebuilding. Doyle, a woman who had weathered many storms, found herself standing at the precipice of a new life with Abby, her partner. The path to this point had been strewn with obstacles, but Doyle was resolute in her determination to build a life that was a true reflection of her authentic self. This journey, however, was not without its trials, as she found herself grappling with the societal norms and expectations that had once been the bedrock of her existence. The societal constructs that had once seemed as solid and unyielding as a mountain now appeared to be nothing more than a mirage. The expectations of marriage, motherhood, and femininity that had once been her guiding stars now felt like chains, binding her to a life that no longer fit. She found herself wrestling with these concepts, struggling to untangle the web of internalized beliefs that had been woven into her psyche since childhood. In Abby, Doyle found a sanctuary, a place where she could safely explore these questions that had begun to gnaw at her. Abby's steadfast love and support were the pillars upon which Doyle could lean as she embarked on this journey of self-discovery. Together, they navigated the labyrinth of their relationship, their individual identities, and their place in a society that often seemed blind to their existence. This period of introspection was a crucible for Doyle, a transformative process that stripped away the layers of societal expectations, revealing the raw, unvarnished truth of her being. She learned to embrace her imperfections, her strengths, and her desires, rejecting the idea that she had to squeeze herself into a mold that was not her own. As Doyle evolved, so too did her understanding of love and relationships. She discovered that love was not about losing oneself in another, but about growing and evolving together. She learned to prioritize her own needs and desires, understanding that self-love was not an act of selfishness, but a necessity. Through this journey, Doyle did not just rebuild her life, she reconstructed her identity. She emerged from the crucible stronger, more self-aware, and more authentic, ready to face whatever life might throw at her. She was no longer a woman defined by societal expectations, but a woman defined by her own truth. Point 5. The liberation. Doyle's voyage towards self-realization and emancipation was a turbulent one, punctuated by instances of self-questioning, trepidation, and bewilderment. She wrestled with the societal standards and anticipations that had been deeply rooted in her since her formative years, scrutinizing their legitimacy and the influence they wielded over her existence. The concept of being domesticated by society, of molding herself to fit into a certain archetype or ideal that didn't echo her genuine self, was a constant struggle. The metamorphosis commenced when she began to challenge these norms and anticipations. She came to the startling realization that she had been leading a life that wasn't truly hers, but rather one that had been dictated by societal pressures. This epiphany served as a catalyst for Doyle, propelling her onto a path of self-exploration and self-acceptance. She started to strip away the layers of societal conditioning, peeling them back to unveil her true self. She learned to embrace her imperfections, her strengths, her aspirations, and her dreams, accepting them as integral components of her identity. She learned to love herself unconditionally, without the need for external validation or approval. As she embraced her true self, Doyle experienced a sense of tranquility and satisfaction that was previously unknown to her. She felt liberated, unshackled from the chains of societal expectations and norms. She felt untamed, wild, and free, living her life according to her own rules. Doyle's journey towards self-liberation was not merely a personal one, but also a rallying cry for others. She urged others to break free from societal expectations, to live their truth, and to embrace their true selves. She personified the essence of being untamed, living her life with authenticity, bravery, and freedom. She became a lighthouse of hope and inspiration for others, demonstrating that it is indeed possible to break free from societal constraints and live a life that is true to oneself. Chapter 6. Conclusion. Living an untamed life means breaking free from societal expectations and norms, and embracing your true self. It's about finding your inner voice and following it even when it goes against what others may expect or want from you. It's about being brave enough to disappoint others in order to stay true to yourself. Untamed living is about recognizing that you are enough just as you are, and that you don't need to change or conform to be loved or accepted. It's about understanding that your worth is not determined by others, but by your own self-belief and self-love. It's about embracing your emotions, even the uncomfortable ones, and allowing them to guide you towards your truth. It's about letting go of the need for control and learning to trust in the process of life. Untamed living is about choosing courage over comfort, authenticity over approval, and truth over tradition. It's about living a life that is true to who you are, not who others want you to be. So, stop pleasing, start living. Be untamed. Be you.